Hey, what's up, YouTube?
Don't forget to subscribe. Don't do.
Not on Patreon. Alright.
You're not on Patreon yet?
Okay. Was that my hand? Look this way. This is how it's gonna work, guys. That's geometry.
Subscribe to
Alright, I need to go grab another final home. Alright, so follow along. Make sure you have all the right answers. If you don't, fix them. I will have this video up online.
Yeah.
Look how big my hand is.
Yeah, one of that. Can you check me that out? Subscribe to
One of them. You notice.
I like this video.
So you can go through the entire video.
If you're not, nothing's gonna change.
Hey, so this will look exactly like your test, so pay attention. Did anybody see the Easter egg on the first page?
Property's the best.
Property's the best, still. It didn't change. Still the best. Because it's the best. Oh, that's a song.
Not capitalized, so you know that's wrong.
Oh. You're right.
The other best is me.
Okay, here we go. List the number of rows in the matrix. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh. What are the dimensions? 8 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold on. We're recording a video for those at home. What is the element whose value is 5G? A, 2, 3. What is the value of A17? 69?
We're immature.
Guys, I can't constantly have you talking in the video. Thank you. What is the number of columns in the matrix? We already figured that out. It was 9. What is the number of elements? We take 8 times 9. 72. What is the element whose value is pi? Where's pi? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. And 2. Hold on. Let's explain. Shh. If not A16, remember that's A61. 6, 1. And then T is all the way over here in the corner. So that's T. A89 is T. Okay, it looks like a plus, but it's a T. Okay. You had time to figure that out earlier. I do. Okay, if you can get everybody to be quiet. Okay, I guess they don't want you to have an eraser. Okay. Alright, so check this out. Some of you guys might try to do this the hard way. I'm going to, use some reasoning here, okay? Look, right here, I don't have a y, right? So if I use these two and make y go away, then I can take the answer from eliminating y here and use it here. So watch what I'm talking about. If I add these two together, I'm going to add upwards, if that makes any sense. So instead of them being on the top, I'm going to add this way. So that's 3x, no y, plus 3z equals negative 3, right? Okay, so I got rid of y. Now, guess what? When you look at that, do you see anything else I can get rid of? I can get rid of all the 3's, and I could change that so it just looks like x plus z equals negative 1. Isn't that a lot easier to deal with? Okay, so now look, I have an xz term and I have an xz equation. So I can set those equal to each other. Now the only thing I have to deal with is, Chase, can you take your hood off? Thank you. And then the other thing I have to deal with is this z problem. I can just multiply one of these by negative 1. I'll go ahead and do this top one. So that gives me negative x minus z equals 1, negative x, and then I have negative 2x plus z. This one stays the same, right? Alright, then I'm going to add those together. That gives me negative 3x equals 0, because those cancel. So x equals 0. Now I take that and plug it back in here, okay? Or I could plug it back in too, but I'll plug it in here. That gives me, let's walk through it, negative 2 times 0 plus z equals negative 1, so that's z equals negative 1. Pumphrey, I'm in the middle of this now, so you're going to have to get a scratch piece of paper. Okay.
Can I grab one?
Pumphrey, you're going to need to get out a scratch piece of paper. Okay, now I take X and Z, and I'm going to plug both of them into one of these top ones. You know what? I'm going to use this middle one because it's the easiest to use, right? So that's X minus Y plus Z equals negative 5. So that's going to be 0 minus Y or minus 1 equals negative 5. Simplify that, gives me negative Y minus 1 equals negative 5. And negative Y equals negative 4. So positive Y must equal positive 4. And there we go. Not too many steps, right? Because there's no fractions, it was easy. But then we get problems like this. Again, in math, you use what you know to answer what you don't know. Anyway, if you guys don't got it, if you didn't get that answer, you need to go fix it. The video will be up online after school. You can go check it out. Alright. Right here, last class I did this differently, so I'm going to go about it another way this class. I could multiply the top by 2 to get these opposite, right? But what I can also do to make this one simpler is I can divide that by 2. So I could get 4x plus 3y equals 17. Alright, so I'll cross that out because I just made it simpler. With that being simplified, and I add them together, the y's will cancel, leaving me with 6x equals 16, or x equals 8 over 3. Okay, I found my first answer with doing very little work. Right? You guys see what I did? Added them together, 6x equals 16, divide both sides by 6. 16 divided by 6, if you reduce that, that's 8 over 3. Okay, that's what I did there. And then 17 plus negative 1 is 16, okay? So I take that answer, and I plug it back in. I'll plug it back in up here, because that's the easier one. So it's 2 times 8 over 3 minus 3y equals negative 1. So what I'm going to do really quickly is I'm going to take this, put it over here, and I'm going to take this, put it over here. Okay, so I'm going to add 3y to both sides, and add 1 to both sides. Okay? Watch. That gives me 2 times 8 over 3 plus 1 equals 3y. So now I have all my numbers over here. Okay, now I'm going to simplify that. That gives me my 16 over 3 plus 1 equals 3y. But 1 can be written as 3 over 3, right? So that gives me 19 over 3 equals 3y. Now, normally we would divide by 3, right? But then it becomes harder to see. Remember, what's the same as dividing by 3? Multiplying by what? Multiply by 1 over 3, because that cancels my 3's out, right? So I'm going to multiply by 1 over 3. See how that's easier to see? Right? And then 3 times 3 is 9, so I get 19 over 9 equals y. Don't be afraid of the fractions. The fractions are your friends. Okay, if it's quick.
Can you just cross off the 3 and just leave it y is?
No, because it has to be cross cancel. You can't cross. You can only crisscross cancel. You can't cross. You can't cancel this way, because the reason why you can cross cancel is because if I was to multiply this 3 times this 1, that would give me 3 over 3, right? Which would cancel. Then 3 divided by 3 cancels out. So the top is being divided by the bottom. That's why if you have matching ones, you can cancel them out and they become 1. So if this is 3 over 1 right here, right? That's why you can cancel those out. If it was on the bottom, the answer would be 1/9. It wouldn't cancel out. So you can only cancel from top and bottom. You can't cancel left and right. Does that make sense? So, good question. So let's say I had 3 over 7 times 13 over 9. Okay. Let's say 8. Okay. I can't cancel this direction because I'm multiplying this way. I can cancel this way if 3 and 8 or 7 and 14, those cancel, right? I can do 1 and 2. But I can also cancel up and down because it's just basically reducing my fraction. So 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 8 4 times. So I can really write this as 3 over 1 times 1 over 4. Then it becomes a lot easier to calculate. So you can only cancel up and down or crisscross. Okay, you cannot cancel left and right because you're multiplying left and right. Alright, let's keep going. If you didn't catch that, you can go back and watch it again. Alright, so, write a system of inequality. Only reason I'm trying to go so fast, guys, is because the other class got done with like 1 minute left, so we can't take too long. Alright, so this one, all I'm going to do is find my 2 equations. I'll start with this line right here. I find my y-intercept, which is plus 1, 2, 3, so I know it's going to have plus 3. It's going to be y. Is it solid line? And is it filled down top, bottom or top? Well, it's filled underneath it. So it's what? Less than or equal to because it's a solid line. And then what's my slope? Let's find another point. Here's another point. That goes down 3 over 2, so that's what? Negative 3 over 2x plus 3. Make it look pretty. Alright, simple enough. Let's do this one. This one starts here at negative 1, has another point right here, so I know it's going to be minus 1. Is it going to be greater than or equal to, less than or equal to? Yeah, because it's going on the top side, right? It's a solid line, and it's being filled above it, so it's greater than or equal to. And then I have my slope of negative 1, 2. And there's my answer, okay? Simple enough? You guys make that happen on the test? Now let's do it the other way around. What happens if I give you the equation and you have to graph it? Well, sometimes we forget when we have an absolute value that it's not a line, it's a v. Graph this line first because that's the easy one we all know how to do. Start at negative 3, 1/2 slope, you go up 1 over 2, and you can keep going up 1 and over 2 and you'll always get that same pattern. You can also go down 1, back 2, do negative, and since it's less than, or so since it's greater than, it we can kind of just draw that, right? The arrows at the end, because the dotted line. And am I going to fill up the top or the bottom of that? It's greater than, right? So y is greater than this line, so it has to be above the line. Now this one, y'all are going to do this mistake, so please don't. I'm warning you now. When the number is inside here, where does it move? It does not move up and down, it moves left and right. But if the number was out here, this would be up and down. But this is right and left. I say right, left because it's opposite. If it's plus, it's going to move over here. And I'll start my graph right here, or my V right here. If it was minus 2, I would go 2 this way.
Is it the opposite or also up and down?
No. Up and down is normal, but when it's inside here, the reason because it's an absolute value and you're adding it to x, it flips for some reason. It moves it the other direction. And I've explained why, because if you do an XY chart and you plot points, you see that that's what happens. Right now, I just got to remember it. Okay. I know my slope is 1 because there's nothing there, so 1 over 1. And is this one a solid line? Good. So remember, it can't go below this point. Wherever your V starts, you can't have any points down there below it. They have to only be up because absolute value makes sure that whatever I get is always going to be more than this value. Because it won't go negative. You can get a starting point in the negative, but you cannot, you can't go below that point. Okay, so it's solid, and it's less than or equal to, so I'm going to fill in below it. So that means this is my area that I need to fill in right in here. In between those two equations. So y can be somewhere in here. Okay? You guys are killing me with this one. Every time I grade another paper, you guys aren't graphing it right. It's not that hard. Think about it. You can do it. I believe in you. Okay. Alright, matrix is the easy matrix stuff. We'll get the hard matrix stuff at the end. It gets progressively harder, right? The first page is really easy. Second page is like, still kind of easy. Third page is like, okay, I gotta think. It's just matching. Play the matching game. Anybody ever play the matching game where you had to like turn one card over and then turn another card over and remember? And then, yeah, it was good. Alright, A plus B. All we're going to do is take all of the numbers and add them to the ones that are the same. Now remember, addition and subtraction only works when they're the same size matrices, okay? So 2 plus 4 is 6, 7 plus 2 is 9, 0 plus negative 1 is negative 1, 3 plus 1 is 4, 1 plus negative 2 is negative 1, 5 plus 3 is 8. Alright, we all know how to do arithmetic. We're good with that? Okay, now this one's a little different. First I have to take A and multiply it by 3. So 3 times 2 is 6, 3 times 7 is 1, 0, 9, 3, 15. So I take that, and I'm subtracting B, which is 4, 2, negative 1, 1, negative 2, 3. So 6 minus 4, what does that give me? Somebody yell them out. Next one? Next one? Think about it. Positive 1 minus a negative. Haha! On the last test. So many people got this one wrong. Alright? Because you did not do double negatives. So minus negative 1. Okay? Matt, what's the next one? Then, alright, there you go. And 12. Look at that double negative. Don't fall victim to half a point lost on your test because you didn't do double negative. Okay? Alright. True or false? Is this point on this line? Well, all you gotta do is substitute these values for x and y. So it gives me 3 times 3 minus 4 times 5 equals 11. 9 minus 20. Negative 11 equals 11. Is that true? No, it's false. So the answer is false. Okay.
So for number 13 on B, you don't have to multiply with 3.
You do. I did right here. I went from here. I did 3 times 2 is 6. Okay. Yeah. First you have to multiply that. Yep. Alright. Now, this one doesn't want us to put it in slope-intercept form. Alright. Wait a second here. Do I come? Really? Huh. I'm thinking of, well, we'll get there. Okay, this one just wants me to find my x and y intercept. So I have a line, and it's going to cross my x-intercept and my y-intercept at different points. And the way I figure that out is really easy, okay? It's when x equals 0, y equals what? And when y equals 0, x equals what? And how do we find that out? We just plug it in. X is 0. So we go 3 times 0 plus 4y equals 15. 4y equals 15. Y equals 15 over 4. Alright, solve a basic. 15 over 4 is about 3.75. So, let's throw that answer in there. Let's do red. Now what happens when y equals 0? I have 3x plus 4 times 0 equals 15. 3x equals 15. X equals 5. Alright, so I know x equals 5. So I have 2 points. 0, 3.75. So 0, 1, 2, 3. Right about there. And it says label the x and y intercepts, so 3.75 is, you could keep it as 15 over 4, but I mean, not everybody in their head knows how to graph 15 over 4, but if I switch it to a decimal, 3.75, I can graph that pretty easy. Then I have 0, 5, or 5, 0, So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have a line that goes through those 2 points. And don't forget, it says graph the line. It doesn't say graph the points. It says graph the line, label the points. So, therefore, you need to have that line through those 2 points. It's lagging a little bit, but I think we're good. I might reset my computer after this one. It only lasts so long before it starts to die.
So, between those 2.
Yep. Alright. Moving on.
Wait, what's the,
What's the what?
never mind. I'll do that from
Okay.
Why?
Y is 0, 3.75. 0, comma, 3.75. Okay, it wants me to slope. Okay, first of all, slope-intercept formula is what? Mx plus b. Alright, there we go. That's all we need to know to find what we need. Okay? Well, there's one other thing. We need slope. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. You gotta just know that. These same problems are on the geometry final, because that's when they're learning it. You've learned this last year, so I'm not giving you these equations. You need to know these. Alright? So, slope of these 2 points. Here's what I'm going to tell you to do, okay? You need to know the slope and the y-intercept for all these equations. They're all asking you the same general thing. Okay? Give me an equation of a line. But in order to write an equation of a line, you have to have the slope. So this is the slope-intercept form, like equation, but this is not a line. This doesn't have a slope. This is like fill in the blanks. Okay? This is an equation of a line. It has a slope and it has a y-intercept. But y and x are always just y and x. Okay? So in order to find our slope and our y-intercept, we use our y and our x's, our possible ones. So up here, all I need to know is m and b, and then plug those into the equation. So my answer will look like this: y equals blank x plus blank. Alright? My slope, let's first start off with that. So we do y2 minus y1, so 10 minus 7 over x2 minus x1, negative 1 minus 2. That gives me 3 over negative 3 or negative 1. Okay, so my slope is negative 1. So it goes here. I use one of these points and my slope, and I plug them in to here. So let's use 2 and 7. So it's going to be 7 equals mx, so negative 1x, or negative 1 times 2, plus b. Yeah? Okay, so it's negative 2 equals 7, add 2 to both sides, 9 equals b. So b equals 9, and so that's my answer. I'll rewrite it over here. Y equals negative 1x plus 9. This is your answer, not B. Hang up already? Okay. B is not my answer. M is not my answer. I just need B and M to show me how to write my equation. Okay? And so I'm going to tell you this now. When you see this question on your homework, don't get tripped up. This number right here is irrelevant. You don't need it. It's just there to distract you. Everybody always thinks, oh, but wait, no. You're trying to tell me another line, because another line that's parallel to that line is not going to cross the y-intercept. If I gave you a line right here, and I said, okay, here's another parallel line, does it cross at the same point? No, look, those are different points. So this number, if this is negative 5 for this line, this one has to be different. So all you're doing is finding the b, or the y-intercept, for the other line. Because what do you already know about this other line? What's the slope?
1/2.
It's 1/2, because they're parallel. They have to have the same slope. Right? Because it's saying write the equation of the line that is parallel to that. Okay? Now, I need to find b. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing I did right here, and I'm going to plug it in. I'm going to do negative 2 equals 1/2 times 3 plus b. Solve it out. That gives me negative 2 equals 3/2. If I subtract that from both sides, you have to get a common denominator, which makes it 4/2. So negative 4/2 minus 3/2 gives me negative 7/2 equals b. Okay? Again, if this confused you right here, I'm just subtracting a fraction, so you got to get a common denominator. And if that's confusing for you, practice subtracting your fractions. Okay? So b equals negative 7/2, but that is not my answer. Do not stop right here. Okay? Plug those in and say y equals 1/2 x minus 7/2. That is your answer. If you don't have that, you do not get credit for the answer being correct. Alright? Now, we want a line that's perpendicular to this line, but it goes through point 32, so it goes, or 3 negative 2. So it goes through this point, but it's perpendicular. Okay? We're trying to find what's the equation of that line. Well, what do we know? How do I know what slope is a perpendicular line? Yeah, it's the opposite reciprocal. So I take what I have, flip it over, right? Which is the same as 2. Right? Then I flip the sign, so it becomes negative 2. This is my new slope. Okay? You just have to know that. You have to know, like, hey, when you want a perpendicular line, you have to flip it and switch the sign. Okay, then I do the same thing I did for the last two problems. I plug in the points. Negative 2 equals negative 2 times 3 plus b. That gives me negative 6. Add that to both sides. 4 equals b. Again, that's not my answer. My answer is y equals negative 2x plus 4, because I plug those into my formula. That is my answer. Alright, you guys struggle with these ones, but they're really not that hard. You actually see these on the SATs, I think. Yeah. If you plan on going to community college, I don't think you have to. Only 4 universities want you to have SATs.
I didn't see this on the SAT.
No?
No.
I've seen it on standardized test a lot. That's interesting. I mean, they always shuffle the questions around, so.
Oh, yeah, when I did it, this past Saturday, it wasn't.
Well, it could be f of x, that's a function. It's the same thing. It's just function notation.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean, now there.
Alright, so then, we go down here. Hey guys, this whole page, geometry has the same questions on their test. Okay, so this is review stuff. So you can do this, I believe in you. Alright, my distance formula is the square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. That's my distance formula. Let's plug those points in. x2 is 7 minus 3 squared plus negative 4 minus 5 squared. No. Yeah, so that gives me 4 squared plus negative 9 squared, 16 plus 81, square root of 97. Now, that's a prime number, so that's my answer. Somebody was asking me, what if it's not a prime number, do we have to reduce it? Yes, you do. So let's just imagine for a second, that we have the square root of 96. Sure, let's use that one.
If we don't, we need to almost
Half. That means you did half the work, because look what would happen, what you have to do after this. So 96 can be broken down. I know because it's an even number that it can be divided by 2, but I also know since it's 96, 3 goes into 90 30 times, then add 2, so 32 and 3. Then I can also break down 32, what is that, 16 and 2. I can break 16 into 4 and 4. Okay, now check this out. I could break these down even more. I don't have to. Okay, as soon as you get a pair, you can take it out. But let's break it down anyway. 2, 2, 2, 2. So if I was to write all of these numbers out, I'd get 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3. If I multiplied all those together, I get 96, okay? Now here's what happens. You take the couples, and 2 become 1, okay? And all the single people get left alone on the inside. So 2 become 1, go on the outside, so I get 2 times 2 on the outside, and on the inside I get 2 times 3. Okay, 2 become 1, everybody's getting married off, but the single people get left inside, okay? 2 become 1. So now on the outside I multiply those together and I get 4 square root of 6. Now do you guys see how if I wanted to, if I took out if I married the 4's together, I could have just gone straight from 4 to here. So I'm saying you can take any pairs of numbers out. Doesn't have to be broken all the way down. But just so you know why. Okay, that's what you would have to do. So that's why you'd only get half credit, because see how it's only half the work. Okay, midpoint. What's my midpoint formula? x1 plus x2 over 2, comma, y2, y1 plus y2 over 2. So that gives me 3 plus 7. 3 plus 7 over 2, which is 10 over 2, which is 5. And then I have negative 4 plus 5. So that's negative 1. No, positive 1. So 1/2. Boom. There we go. Alright? Y'all should do this page no problem. You can do it. Believe in yourself. Don't tell yourself I can't do it. That's not the attitude of a winner. Okay? Be a winner. Winner is more fun. What would PewDiePie say? Or PewDiePie. How do you say his name? The streamer? PewDiePie.
You don't know who PewDiePie is?
I thought it was PewDiePie. It's PewDiePie.
As good as PewDiePie.
Is there a PewDiePie? Alright.
I saw that. You made up.
Alright, check this out. You guys are having troubles with this, but it's really not that bad. Okay, check it out. Ready? What I'm going to tell you is the first thing you need to do is below this letter, write the dimensions of a matrix. So it's a 3 by 2. And then compare it with this one, 2 by 2. Can these be multiplied? Yes, because these match. And I know what my answer is going to look like. It's going to be a 3 by 2 matrix. Alright, sounds good. So now I can start working on it. I do my first row by my first column, and I do the first term times the first term over here, so 2 times 1, 2. And I add that to the second term times the second term, which is 5x. Then I do my first row by my second column, so 2 times 10, 20. 5 times negative 5, negative 25. Now I work my way down. I go over my second row, and I do the same thing. Second row times my first column. 0 times 1, 0. Negative 4 times x. 0 times 10. Negative 4 times negative 5. Positive 20. Okay. Third row. Again, don't do all this circling if it doesn't actually help you. It might confuse you. 1 times 1. 0 times x. Now some people would say, why not 0x? Because 0 times anything is 0. That's the beauty of 0. Okay, and then 1 times 10 is 10. 0 times negative 5, 0. Now all I got to do is simplify all those. Okay, simplify 2 plus 5x is? Aha! Don't add those together. Y'all did that. Some of y'all. Why are you looking at Irene? Did she do it, or did you do it? Did you do it, Irene? Ah, you felt trapped. You forgot that you can't combine unlike terms. Okay, 20 minus 25?
5.
Negative 5. Negative 4x, because there's just a 0 there. 20, 1, 10. Yeah, all those zeros make life easy, don't they? Alright, my next problem, ready? D times A. D's dimensions are 2 by 2. A's dimensions are 3 by 2. Uh-oh, wait. Oh, wow, I'm done. That only took me about 5 seconds to solve that problem. Pay attention. If you don't do what I'm telling you to check the dimensions first, you're going to waste all your time trying to figure it out. And you're going to be like, wait a minute. Okay? Alright, let's do this last. Let's do C. A times D is basically the same thing we just did, okay? It's exactly the same thing we just did with just different numbers.
C is nothing but C times A.
No. Yeah, you can't do A times C, but we're going to write our dimensions out. 3 by 3, and A is a 3 by 2. So yeah, look, those work because those two numbers match. Alright, so let's get cracking. I'm going to do it up here so we can see both. We can see the matrices. Okay, so I take my first row times my first column, and I'm not going to keep circling them anymore because they're just going to get confusing. 4 and 2 is plus 0 and negative 14. 1 and 8. Cool. Moving over. 4 and 5. Negative 14 and negative 4. Ooh. 0 and 8. Ooh, there we go. Alright, somebody besides Anthony. There you go. We're doing our next row now. We're doing our first row. Now we're on this one. 2. Besides Anthony. Negative 4. 0. 8. Times. Oh, you made me write 9. Okay. Okay. It's 8. So now I go to the second column. Negative 10. Negative 36. And 0. You almost just don't even need to write it, but it's okay. Alright, third row. 10. 0. Not even write it. Negative 100. No, I didn't. Oh, well, you know. It's just in his DNA. He can't help it, okay. 5 and 5? 25. Negative 8. 0. So, I don't even need to write that. Alright, all we gotta do is simplify. Just add them all up now. 16. 76. 4. Negative 26. No, 46, right. Negative 90. And 17. Game over. We did it, everybody. Yeah, but y'all, D is the same as A. You guys want me to do it?
Yeah.
Alright, but I'm not drawing stuff. I'm not gonna circle them. I'm gonna just look at them. A times D, it's a 3. We just need the answer on the test. 3 by 2, D is a 2 by 2, so I know that's gonna work. So, Anthony Davis, AD, alright, let's go. Alright, A times D, that's gonna be 2 times 54, which is 108, plus 5 times negative 1. And then 2 times 45, which is 90. 5 times negative 2,000 minus 1,000. Alright, now I go to my next row. 0 and positive 4. 0 and positive 800. 1, I do my next row. 1 and 54, which is just 54. And 0 and 45. And 0. Man, those zeros really make this a lot easier, don't they? Alright, I add all those up. That gives me 103, negative 910, 4, 800, 54, and 45.
The question is, Anthony, can kids watch?
Yes. Okay.
Is it time? We finish this on time?
Yeah,
I told you guys, as long as we get through it, then we get.
Hey, guys, look at school.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, oh, I saw that! Oh, yeah, Mr. Rabbit is gonna see it. I have a